What is up? Welcome to my first produced training log in years. Wow. I am a little out of practice, but I'm excited to do this. I had a training log that I had produced like this for several years ago, before Instagram kind of took over, and I just kept it on Instagram. So I am looking forward to being able to produce these again, since video production, if you haven't gathered, is one of my hobbies and creative outlets. And keeping a video training log where I can kind of do a voiceover Dear Diary has been a lot more productive for me over the years than just the Instagram posts. So what this will do is give me a little bit more space to talk, which we all know I like to do, but also room to explain some of the thinking behind the movement selection that I pick with my training, since that is generally kind of weird. And so this Wednesday workout here is called WooWoo Wednesday. It has a few different purposes, the main of which being to kind of correct and realign my posture, so that way I am back to healthy human movement, not powerlifter movement, which then has me healthy and ready to do my powerlifting training on the Monday and Friday workouts. But you'll see that as I continue to produce these videos. So on this day here, my main goal was to kind of uncrunch myself. I have spent far too many hours in front of a screen, between building JaronOutLoud.com, getting Cynical TV up and running, and even Anisia's site, helping her a little bit, but she did most of that, and working on another project as well. I have been in front of the computer for far too long, and between the week of Christmas break and then the week of getting this stuff ready, I haven't trained, I haven't moved, so I've been feeling a little crunchy and shitty. So this goal here was kind of the same as all the WooWoo Wednesdays, but with extra emphasis on just getting my posture back into proper alignment, feeling athletic, feeling a connection between my upper and lower body, getting a sense of healthy rotation back, all the things that I normally appreciate about this day. So what you see here is I started off with the first cluster, which I call the postural preparation, or GPP, general postural preparation cluster. The goal of that one, and the reason I love the kettlebell swings, particularly on the WEX steps so much, is they really help to sync up my breathing with my movement. For some reason, the kettlebell work really allows me to focus on separating my respiratory muscles from my movement muscles. And so having that in conjunction with some form of a row, I really like the alternating rows because they get the rib cage and the thorax moving very well and rotating again. And I tend to get locked up and not rotate, or be stuck in a partially rotated position. So everything here is kind of twisty. There's a lot of full body movements and a lot of things that are much more athletic than up and down with the stick that I do on Monday and Friday. So the second cluster here, I'm working on my cleans. This is a newer movement for me. I'm not as good with them as I am with the snatch, and even that I'm still working on and learning, but I enjoy them, and it's fun to have a new challenge. And the two movements definitely highlight, but also address some of the imbalances that I'm still working on cleaning up. So they're getting better. I worked up to a couple sets of the dead stop style reps with the 50, and I did a full clean to jerk, or clean to press, which you're seeing here. So those all felt very good. Moved on to my snatch work afterwards. The last time that I did these, I had hit a pretty cool PR and was able to snatch the 70 for, I think, set of 5 on each arm, including my left one, which is where I have more of the stability issues. Shut the fuck up, Alexa. Wow, that's rude. I'm gonna go turn Bezos off real quick. Sorry about that. Amazon's listening. Anyways, so built on what I had accomplished before going on Christmas break, and worked up to a set of 5 with the 50 and a set of 5 with the 75 again. But this time I'm working on start-stop reps. So I'm trying to start each one from the bottom and not connect them together like I was doing before. This actually helps me work on my technique, since I suck on the first rep and it takes a few to get a groove. So these aren't great, but they felt good, and I felt way better after having done this workout, and each set ended up improving. So I included 2 sets here so you can see the changes from the 2. But first set was the 50, second was the 70. I think I did 4 sets total of these. The next cluster that I did was very rotational focused. And so you'll see here in a second, I was working on the side-to-side rockets, which is a pretty interesting movement. I really like them because there's the rotational element with the upper body, but you're also kind of into a hinged position. So as part of that rocking side to side, it really teaches you how to sit into each hip. I typically, and this is not unique to me, have more difficulty getting into my left hip than my right. And so these are very good for helping to train that. And this third set that I'm showing you here, I really got my body rotating a whole lot better, and I could feel a difference in my breathing after finishing this set. This was definitely better than the first one, which was a little crunchy and uncomfortable. So it's a very weird movement. I'm doing them onto the WEX steps, which helps reinforce the proper skeletal alignment and helps me get into the hips and avoid moving around tight muscles. So you'll see me integrate those into the workout in different places. My purpose with that is typically in movements where I may feel an imbalance or where it may highlight that. By having the change in surface for my feet, it changes the alignment of all of the bones and my skeleton, which then puts everything into proper alignment without me having to really think about it too much or work for it. So today it just felt like the right move with all the rotational work. Being on the WEX steps helped keep my hips neutral. And then over the course of the 3 sets that I did of these, the Grim Reapers really helped to open up the lats. So I was able to get air moving in and around my upper back much better after having done that cluster. So the other thing that I've been doing is a cool down on my inversion stool or headstand stool. I pretty much get onto this thing at the end of every workout, sometimes more often than that, but this is really great because it tends to help push the shoulders down into place, so my scaps will drop into a good location. Because I'm not rooted down to my feet because I'm standing, or I'm not standing, when I breathe, I can feel the air going into the lower abs and the diaphragm much better. And this also then allows me to open up the hips and get rotation going with a different base of support since I'm sitting on my shoulders essentially. So did that, went into this kind of inverted child's pose type thing, which felt really good and opened up some breathing. And by the time I was done with all that, I was nice and parasympathetic and kind of sleepy feeling and done. So that is it. This is WooWoo Wednesday for the first workout of the year. I hope you enjoy this and continue to stick around, and I will be producing more of this over the course of the weeks to come. That's it. Take care and have a good rest of your day.